As you can see, we're in the middle of a home renovation, and behind me is our hallway. At the end of that hallway, I want to put a door for a closet. So I need to build a frame to hold that door. So this door is done. I'm going to leave it really simple. No additional wood is needed in the header because it's not load bearing and pretty small. Speaking of doors, we got another door I need to fix right out here. I thought it'd be fun to take our projects outside today and get some work done out here. This is the door to our crawl space. And as you can see, it could be a little better. Right now we have it held closed with a shovel because it's loose and that lets mice in. So we're going to get rid of the old door and we're going to build a new door in here that will close a little bit tighter to keep the air out and keep the mice out and everything else. I have a plan based on something that I saw online. I remember seeing a crawl space door in a video, and I don't remember what video it was, but I want to try to mimic what I saw. I'm going to be using a piece of this pressure treated lumber from the old deck. So I'll get this cut up and I'll start putting it together. So the first one didn't fit in good. It was actually tight because the top of this slopes, so it's snug on this side. I took it out, cut it again, now I'm going to try it again. Alright, I got my frame in there. That actually took me a long time to get it pounded in. It's a little snug, but that's good. I want it to be a nice snug fit. And I'm leaving it back about 3/4 inches from the face of this stone wall, the block wall. So now I got to make my door. So now I'm just going to be shimming up the bottom of it. I made it a little loose so I have space underneath. Space all the way around. Now that I have my door shimmed up and lined up exactly where I want it, even gap on both sides, I'm going to be drilling a small hole through this straight into the 2x4s. 2x6s. Alright, so I slid my door out of the way. And I'm going to continue drilling these holes. And this is where it gets interesting. I'm going to be using these double-ended. It's a fine thread on this end, coarse thread, kind of wood thread on that end. They're called hanger bolts. And I'm going to be putting that coarse end into the wood. And I'm going to be tightening it up just by putting 2 nuts on here. And I can tighten the nuts against each other, and then it kind of snugs up, and then you can turn it in with those 2 nuts. So you just tighten them against each other. Okay. And now I'm going with a larger drill bit, and I'm going to drill out my original holes a little bit bigger. So now I just need some handles on this door. I would like a handle. Let me think. I was looking around in the barn and I did find a handle. So I'm going to go ahead and just screw this one on. Okay, good. So now the door is essentially done. I got my handle on it and let's see how it works. can see those screws poke through those holes. And now I'm just going to put these little knobs on. These are just little star-shaped knobs that'll fit right on this threading. And now you can just snug that door right up. That's nice. Solid door. So that's all there is to it. Now when you want to get in, we'll just twist these off, which isn't hard. A little slow, but it's not hard. Pop the door open. Previously, we were going to paint these two pieces of plywood gray, but our gray paint was pretty disgusting. I'll show you guys, this is the old paint, and it not only separated, but it became very kind of dry inside. You see inside the paint? And that's from letting it freeze out in the barn. And we tried mixing it in. In fact, we mixed it like a day or two ago, and this is what it looks like still. And we used this with the drill and like really got it mixed through, and it already like... It stays like this. You can mix it for minutes and minutes. Yeah. It just stays like that. It's fully ruined. So I know some paint can freeze and still be used, but... Apparently not the porch and floor paint. And it does say, protect from freezing. But we picked up a new can, so we're gonna get working on this after all. This is what it should look like. Yeah, you should put different pants on. I'm not a big fan of sweatpants because they, you know. They don't look like sweatpants. Why? I don't know. Ashley's gonna be starting with the nook, so we're gonna try to paint around the filter in all this little area. And while Ashley's working on that, I'm going to start rolling this panel over here for this. I just want to get this kind of around the box. This is coming out good. Almost done. It's going to look so awesome in here. And I'm slowly getting it. Okay, we're done with this part of it at least. It's already looking really good. That's going to dry probably a little bit darker. Now we're going to paint these two panels out here. And then one more job outside. So those are done, looking awesome. And Doug just remembered that we still have to do more in the utility room. Thought I was done. I'm not done. This wall. I'll start at the bottom and get all this edging done. Just don't get it on the white. Trying. That would have been embarrassing to forget all this. I know. So we have all the gray stuff in here that needs to be painted. That wall, this wall, and our two panels. And now we have one more thing we need to paint gray, which is outside. I'm gonna bring it right in. Oh. I think it'll be easier. Good idea. And I think this will just make the door last a little longer and look a little better. Hopefully. It is treated. see it. Does it look good?
Mm-hmm.
Are we done with the gray?
Yeah.
I was just thinking that this nook right here where I have my router and this is our battery backup for the internet, this is all going to be exposed. So we better take all this stuff down and get this painted also. I'm going to have to unscrew this from the wall. There. There we go. So we got the nook cleaned out. We're about to paint it, but I noticed that I do have some spray foam here, just the way this was put together. And there's a gap back there. And that's kind of ugly, so I'm going to go ahead and put some trim in there. And luckily for us, we just picked up some trim. We found this at the store for 70% off, so I grabbed it. And I think it's going to work fine. That'll look good, right?
Yeah.
There. Let's rather get the outsides first. I'm going around the outsides just to make sure that no wood shows when we cover it, because I don't know how my cuts are gonna line up. Am I doing a good job?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? How could you mess this up?
Well, I'll find a way.
It's gonna look so good in here once these panels are on.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be later on when we tile this room. But at least we'll have them ready.
Yeah.
So this room will be white, white, and then the rest will be gray. Right, Doug?
Yep. And it's gonna be like a... I don't even know what I'm saying. Okay. I can't talk and work at the same time. Anything else?
I don't think so.
While we're in painting mode, we're going to test out the color that we got for this wall, and I'm excited to see how it looks.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard to tell. It almost looks green in here. It's a pale yellow. It's going to dry a little different than this, but actually we're not even fans of yellow in the house. What we were going for was we were reading the suggestions, and some colors that we never even considered you guys threw out. A lot of people said a buttercream yellow, and that got us thinking. And this isn't necessarily buttercream yellow, but
it was one of the best yellows we could find.
in my mind, I wanted it to match a yellow brick. I've seen buildings that are made with yellow bricks, and they're not truly, they're a pale tannish yellow, I would describe it. It's hard to explain, but I had a picture in my mind, so I was trying to look for something that would mimic that. And believe it or not, this color,
Even though it doesn't look like it.
it doesn't look like it right now. We're going to see it on the wall though.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it next to the door so that we can get a good color representation. I don't know why it looks so green though, because it didn't have any green in it. So it might be hard to tell on the camera, but this color is actually kind of green. I'm not happy with it, but it's a starting point. So I'm going to go back to the store. I'm going to get a different shade of color close to this, and we're going to try it again. If it doesn't work, we can always go back to white, or we can go bold and do a different color altogether. It's really hard to tell when you see all the brown, but when you come in and only see this, and the lighting in here, man, you guys can't see what I'm seeing, but it's not right. Well guys, we're going to wrap it up now. We got a lot of work done. I'm so happy that we have a new crawl space door most of all. It's so important to keeping mice out of our house this winter, because I think that was the main entry point for mice over the years coming in, because the door was so loose. So just keeping that secure alone mouse-proofs the house. So it's going to be really cool.
Well, mice shouldn't even be able to get into the house anyway, because we have all the holes and stuff sealed up.
Right.
So even if they get in the crawl space, we're good.
Mm-hmm. But we don't want them down there. So.
Yeah.
So we have a chicken update also.
Yesterday, Belle looked in the coop and she found an egg finally.
Our first egg after how many months?
Since June, so 5 months.
Yeah, almost half a year.
Over 5 months?
Feeding a lot of chickens. We finally got our first egg. So that's really cool. That means they're going to start laying. They should all start laying right around now. And we weren't sure because there's not a whole lot of information online about the Chanticleers, so we weren't sure exactly when they're going to start. And I would show it, but we already cooked it. In fact, I made it for Maverick this morning. It was a cute little egg. It wasn't a full-size egg.
They usually start off small.
Yeah. But it was a perfect egg. It looked really nice and it had a nice big yolk inside, so that was really cool. So yay for eggs, finally got our first one. And chickens are still escaping. We're okay with that. We're getting a lot of people giving us suggestions about that. We don't want to clip their wings. We know we could. We're just not going to do that. And it's not a big deal if they get out of the run because
we were free ranging them.
They've been completely free range since we've gotten them, out of the coop.
Yeah.
You know, once they were old enough to come out.
We just wanted them contained so that there'd be less droppings over the yard, and if a few get out here and there, that's fine.
Yeah.
We just get them back in there at night.
And we can't expect them to get used to it that quickly from being complete free range over the whole property to being in a fence all the time. So we expect a little bit of time to transition into that. They want to get out into the places that they're used to. So we'll work through that. Not a big deal. Yeah, paint colors. It's always hard for us. We hate painting. We hate choosing colors. And we're going to work through this one. We're not happy with the yellow that we chose.
It looks like a pastel neonish green. Mm-hmm. It's not what we were going for.
So we're going to go back to the store and pick out a new color, and we'll show you guys when we use that one. And we'll just see what works, what doesn't. We've even considered doing maybe a light blue to offset the dark blue door. I don't know. We're still playing with it in our mind and just trying to find the color we want. And as a last resort, white. We still love white walls, and we could do that. Mm-hmm. So little by little, we're getting stuff done, and we have a lot more to do. I know you guys are excited for the kitchen renovation. We're not really rushing to get the kitchen done, because that's going to be pretty intense. A lot of tiling. Cabinets, which we have to buy. Just a lot to think about, light fixtures, you know. So we're not in a rush in that. We're just going to work on other things. We appreciate you guys watching and following along this whole adventure, and we have plenty more projects coming, so stay tuned for that, and until next time, take care.
Bye.